Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 3 over 32 podcast. Today, we don't really have a lot to talk about. As you know, it's the midsummer, shenanigans, or as Will would say, the State of the Union as we run it here over this podcast. Um, really just going to talk about quickly some of the key things that we saw over the kit training camp, some highlights of, childhood, college football, of course, just, shenanigans in general. Let's first start out with the training camp. In my book, I'm gonna just go rip it with the Vikings. Um, JJ McCarthy, ideal start to training camp. Ideal start. What's not ideal is Justin Jefferson going down with a hamstring injury. Although it's a mild hamstring injury, he's being reevaluated within the next week, I believe. But from words of Kevin O'Connell, it doesn't seem so serious. It seems like it's going to be a few rest days for him. Nothing priority that he has to participate in, but I'm seeing a lot of righteousness in JJ McCarthy, him releasing the ball. That one pass for 60 yards plus to Jordan Addison is huge. Who knew he was a gunslinger? He didn't really show that in Michigan, as we saw. He didn't win the Natty doing that. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more about the Vikings. I know it will start probably heating up more as we get closer to the season. And like I said, it's only been maybe 4 or 5 days maybe of training camp. So there's really like very slim things I could really key in on for them. Just basic all around movement. I will say offensive line, 110% better than what it was or what it has been ever since I was a fan. This O line is insane. Insanity. They're now clicking with JJ McCarthy. Things are going in motion. The offense is in key with, and I'm not gonna. You can hear it first here, but I think it's another 14 win season for the Vikes. But that's
I
just me.
mean,
It's that offensive line is dirty. Just the minuscule things I see over these training camp videos, it could be a very nice season for us. That's all I gotta say. Either one of you can go into your teams.
um, I well for Giants, it's pretty similar. Like not much to say. Uh, our left tackle Andrew Thomas got hurt. Well, he's been hurt, but now he's been put on the pup list, so he's unable to like physically train with them right now. And hopefully they'll reevaluate him in the next few weeks. But if we get to week one and we don't have our starting left tackle and Andrew Thomas, I will not feel good about this O line at all. He's been like the absolute, you know, pinnacle part of this whole offense. And with when he's gone down the last few years, it's just been a joke. The whole offense has not clicked at all. So I hope things get better with that. Um, Other than that, Russ is the starter. I think we all knew that. And I mean, in terms of Jackson Dart, he's struggled a bit right now, but I'm not really paying attention to all that. I'm trying to just focus on, the defense, which looks great. Russ trying to fit in with the team. Apparently, he looks good right now. I like how the defense is looking in general. I think everyone would say it's the strong point of the team, and it is. And Abdul Carter looks like the first, like the best probably defensive end prospects, outside linebacker prospect we've had in many years, and which I also expected. So hopefully that pans out. And yeah, things are good. I'm happy right now. This is the best offseason I've felt probably since I would say I don't want to say the year after we beat the Vikings or you guys in the playoffs because I mean I didn't feel like super ecstatic after that year. I felt like we would have been good, but I mean, man, I can't even with Daniel Jones out, it just feels like a breath of fresh air, honestly. So that's all I
I mean,
got.
he's killing it in Indianapolis, but he can go in that.
I don't.
I've been saying I've been saying that for months. I genuinely think he will start week one somehow.
He probably
I
will.
said that back in May. I genuinely think that Daniel Jones will be the week one starter in Indy. I shared that stat with you guys in the group chat. I
Yeah.
saw it on the TV earlier. Since senior year of high school, so this is Anthony Richardson's third year in the NFL. Third year, and he only started 12 games at Florida.
That's
He
so
only started
dumb.
12 games at Florida. He has only played 31 football games since he was a senior in high school.
I mean, it makes sense. It
I
makes
can't
sense.
believe
We
that,
can
though.
see it happening on the pro level.
It's insane to me that, and I've been saying this again since he's been drafted. Like, everyone was so hyped up about him his rookie year, his first 5 games, and he played well. He played great those first 5 games until he had the season-ending injury in 2023. But how can you evaluate someone? Yeah, that he has the intangibles. He's big. He's got a cannon for an arm. He can move decently well in the pocket. But I just don't know how you can value a player so high when he just does not have the track record through college into now year 3 in the NFL. That's why I firmly believe Daniel Jones is going to be the starter week 1 in Indy. I just don't think they've
I
seen enough, and I don't know where you go with AR from here, to be honest.
No, I'm with you. I think he will start, but I don't think the Colts are gonna be good at all. I think they're gonna be
No,
terrible.
I think they're going
I
to be
don't think
terrible
Daniel
too.
Jones is good at all. I mean, I've seen him. I've seen every game of his career so far. He's not good. So
As we
No.
said in
Just-
the last episode, Titans make the playoffs.
I'd
with
be
a
down to
losing
see
record.
that, dude. Cam Moore's him. I'm down to see it. But their
Yeah.
offense, they don't have many weapons really. So
No,
I don't know.
that's going to be interesting. But getting to the Bengals just real quick. Not too much has been coming out of our training camp over the first week. I pray to God this defense improves. I'm excited for the preseason games, but Zach Taylor already basically came out and said that all of the offensive players are just not going to play until the last game of the preseason, just like last year, which I think is already setting us up to start off 0-3 yet again. I don't know how you can
Come
go
on.
into yet another year.
Some good news.
What?
Shamar Stewart finally.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, we're gonna get into that. Yeah, about an hour ago, he
What a
signed
mess.
out of three after a 3 month holdout. We finally got him pen to paper. That's a whole, this is another avenue to go down. I am so deeply angry at this franchise, and it just boggles my mind that you have these great players on this roster, yet you are just incapable of doing the most basic things ever. And listen, do you guys, I'm sure you guys know and understand why the conflict between the Bengals and Shamar Stewart happened, right? It was over
Yeah.
within the contract.
Yeah.
Basically, what the Bengals were saying was that if this guy goes to jail, we don't have to pay him. There's no guaranteed money if he screws up in any off the field issue. And he's had off the field issues at Texas A&M. So my question is, if you were really that concerned about his off field issues, why would you draft him in the first round? If you're willing to hold out on a contract to sign the guy for 3 months, why draft him?
Yeah. Why did they
But
draft
it's
him?
What's the point? What's
That's
the
a
point?
great point.
It's
I
funny
don't
because
understand.
he signed about maybe like 30 minutes ago, and it's fully guaranteed 18.97 million. Fully
Yeah,
Wow.
guaranteed.
it's fully guaranteed. So we didn't even get what we were trying to get out of it. I just it
Hey,
begs the
Bengals.
question. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. If you have such a problem with this guy's off the field issues, first off, don't draft him. And second off, if he's this adamant about getting guaranteed money, go back to Texas A&M, bro. It would have been the funniest thing in the world if he went back to Texas A&M and then we draft him again next year.
But don't you lose a pick then?
Game of the century.
When you just lose
yeah,
you just lose the pick. You get no
you
compensation
lose.
probably.
You get no compensation. But the thing is it comes down to the like moral compass of it, right? If
I
you
think you get
had
compensation picks.
Not first
If
rounder
anything.
though.
no, I don't
No,
think I don't
you
even
get
think you
top.
do.
It's 5, 6, or 7th round.
That's a joke.
And it's just at the end of the day, like I said, it's the morality of it, right? If you have this big of a problem, does his on the field attributes outweigh that? I don't know. I mean, he's a good player. He had great statistics at Texas A&M, and he also did great at the combine and on his pro day. So, like, I understand why we want him. I think he should be a good player. We need edge rushers. We need players who are mobile in the defense, but it's just a terrible saga. And it just goes to show, like, are we sitting here just wasting these guys' careers on offense? What's the point?
I mean, it feels like
And
that right now.
the other thing that I'm just gonna say, this is my final point. I talked to Matt you about it too. I am praying Zach Taylor gets fired. I don't want him anymore. I don't want him around the franchise. That guy is not a winner. We're now 4 years removed from that Super Bowl run. He is an absolute loser. And until we're able to get someone in who has a winning mentality, as highlighted by the quarterback series that just dropped, I'm sure we've all seen the clips after that terrible game against the Titans. Yeah, we won the game by 7 points against the Titans team that only had one win at that point. They were the bottom of the league. We played terrible. I'm pretty sure we had 11 false starts during that game, something crazy. And Joe Burrow's obviously pissed off, saying, "What the fuck are we doing? This is so embarrassing." And Zach Taylor comes over and is like, "Oh no, we should celebrate this. You know what? Like let's just, focus on enjoy the win." Dude, we're 4-7 and we haven't made the playoffs in 2 years with an all-time quarterback. What are we doing? That's not a winner's mentality. I don't want it.
I hate to go about
Yeah.
it this way. I really do. But like, do you think that Bengals Super Bowl run was a one-hit wonder? I mean, if you realize it, Joe Burrow was coming off of a half-run previous rookie season, so he was angry to get out there year two with his number one or one of his number one targets in LSU with Jamar Chase coming to that roster, and then bang, you guys make a Super Bowl run. I mean,
Yeah,
Joe
but I
Mixon.
would
Like I won't lay it all down on the line. Like Joe Mixon was a high key. You had who was that safety? The safety that went to the
Jesse
Falcons.
Bates.
He was high key great. Mike Hilton was in the
Yeah,
league at that run. T
we
Higgins.
had a lot of great
But
players.
like
And
low key, I just feel it that if it wasn't for Joe Burrow, the Bengals would have no chance in hell of making that Super Bowl that year.
I mean, I don't think so either, but again, it comes with having great players. And I would say that it's a one-hit wonder, but then the next year we went to the AFC Championship game again. So the
Yeah.
potential
True.
is there.
Yeah.
The potential is there. We've done it twice in a row, and now we haven't made the playoffs since. So there's obviously the players that we have are fantastic, and I don't think that this is a playoff a team that's incapable of going on another Super Bowl run. And I will tell you what, I will defend this until I die. Last year, we won 5 games in a row last year. If we made the playoffs, we would have won a game. I'm telling you that right now. We were one of the hottest teams in football at the end of last season. Regardless of
Yeah.
what people say, we would have won a game.
And that's how you made
And
the Super Bowl last time, right? You just got on a hot streak at the
exactly,
end of the year.
got on a hot
That's
streak,
how you do
and
it.
that's exactly what happened. And but the things that I saw in that QB1 series, just the way that Zach Taylor actually speaks on the sideline, there's no fire. There's no like galvanizing this team. And you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have a head coach that is willing to go out there and fight and lay things down brick by brick, the talent's only going to get you so far. And I think, this team can be great. I think the defense hopefully is better. And we'll see, but I don't want him there. After seeing that shit, I don't want him as head coach. I don't want it.
I'll tell you this. I think the Bengals will make the playoffs, but if they don't win a playoff game, I think he's gone. I think he's that much on the hot seat this year. I don't know.
I agree.
I called it out 2 years ago, or was it last season? I think it was last season I called it out when y'all lost to the Patriots week 1. I said Zach Taylor should be gone. How do
Yeah.
you lose to the New England Patriots with that high caliber of a roster? And you were still fighting the T. Higgins news. You were still fighting the Jamar Chase news. And now you're fighting Trey Hendrickson news coming off of the Shamar Stewart debacle. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he deserves the hot seat. I don't think he should come into another franchise. And if he does, be like, I don't know, the Titans. I don't know, some random team.
And look,
But
I will
probably
say,
have zero success
I will say
because
this.
of your players on your team are fathomably Hall of Famers.
Yeah, you got a whole
Let's be real.
he genuinely he came in for this project, right? He was the offensive coordinator in LA when they went to the Super Bowl with Goff, and they were putting up 40 points a game. He's a great offensive mind. We see that year in and year out with Joe and Jamar and the plays that we're running. He knows how to put points on the board, but it's just the intangibles that he just doesn't seem to have. Like, you have to galvanize the troops. You have to go out there and just have this fire. And Joe Burrow has that fire. The other players have this fire, and it seems like, he's trying to counterbalance that. And I understand that there has to be like a good dynamic there on the team, but like, you just beat a 1-16 by like a touchdown, and you were terrible all game. You gotta like show something. You gotta give something, and it's just not enough for me. And yeah, if we don't make the playoffs this year, oh my god, man,
I mean, if you don't make the playoffs, he's gonna be gone 100%. But I
he
think
has to be.
I think you guys have to win a playoff game. I think it's that deep.
I
Because
agree too. I agree too.
I mean, what's the T. Higgins contract situation? Did you guys sign him, or is he on his last year?
Yeah,
You did sign him.
no, we signed him.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot you guys signed him. Well, that's good then. So I mean,
Jamar's in there for 4. Joe still has 4.
Like 4 or 5, because I think his was originally 7.
wow.
I thought it was 6.
I think 6 or I think 7 actually. So I think still got 5, dude,
Shit.
which is
Anyway.
crazy.
Crazy.
Going into some other teams, there's a lot of questions. Discuss them. There's 32 teams. Going into
Which
the other
teams you want
teams,
to talk about?
I kind of want to just highlight this. We missed a podcast or missed an episode to not go over some of the trade talks and everything, but there's a few names I'm going to throw out there. First thing I'm going to throw out is the Minka back to Miami for Jalen Ramsey. I mean, how do we feel about this? The Dolphins receive Minka and get rid of Jalen and Jonnu. I mean, from what I've been seeing in training camp, Jalen is now, giving the freeway or giving the, open arms to playing safety. Is that what Pittsburgh needs? I think Pittsburgh is going down this path of retirement home series.
Well,
They have a 40, they have a 40-year-old quarterback. They just picked up DK Metcalf. They have I want to say he's 30. Someone autocorrect. I don't know.
he's past his prime.
Jalen Ramsey's past his prime. That defensive line, and TJ Watt just signed a max contract.
Yep.
or
Their
max
their
extension.
defensive line's really good though.
On
so,
paper.
I
Going
think it's
into
good.
this new regime of the NFL, like, who are they gonna? Are they a team that could stop Jaden Daniels and the Commanders? Are they a team that could stop the Philadelphia Eagles or the Detroit Lions?
I mean, they don't have to worry
I don't
about
think
those
so.
teams necessarily. I mean,
I don't think so.
If they want a Super Bowl, they would have to play those teams.
yeah, but I don't know what their long-term plan is because they're not making a Super Bowl this year, and Aaron Rodgers this is his last year, and he doesn't have the team around him to make a playoff push. Let alone the fact he's not the same player he used to be. He's just not. I would say Russell Wilson's better than him personally, and I'm not just saying that because he's on the Giants now. I'm saying that based off of what I saw last year. I think Russ was the better player.
Off of what we saw last year, I'm going to holler at the Jets fans, and we can go into this as well of what I discussed earlier, but it's the New York Jets. Did you really think something was going to come out of it? Brett Favre went to the New York Jets. What came out of that? Unless you're Mark Sanchez with an almost unibrow, then you're making the playoffs with the New York Jets. Let's be real.
No, you're right.
I mean, I will give Rodgers the benefit of the doubt here, and I will say, as much as it pains me to say this, and it pains me, if he doesn't go down in that first game, they make the playoffs. I think they do, because that defense alone that year won them 4 out of their 6 wins. Like,
and that
genuinely,
team,
the defense alone won them those games.
That whole entire team was so red hot going into that week 1 game on Monday Night Football.
Yes, and they won that game.
That was the first time I've seen MetLife packed.
Yeah, that place was popping, dude.
It was nuts. Yeah.
packed. And we're all from New Jersey, so
Yeah.
we've seen plenty
MetLife
of
is
MetLife.
never packed for either
Not
team.
in recent days.
No,
like,
not recently.
but I mean, seeing that, it was just like that team. I agree with you, Will. They would have made that play. They would have made playoffs.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree.
And
Resurfing. I'm sorry. Go on.
no,
Go
no,
on.
go ahead.
I was just going to resurface and flip to the Dolphins, but if you have something more, say Aaron Rodgers style, we can go with.
No, I was just getting back to Matt Yu's point. I agree that Russell Wilson last year was the better player. Aaron Rodgers is definitely in his final year. And again, it begs the question, what are the Pittsburgh Steelers? What's the game plan here? Is it just to keep Tomlin's streak intact of going over 500 every year? Because that's what it seems like. It's like they're just building a team to go literally 9-8 and then just be done. Like there's no long-term goal here.
And besides that, is Pickens like is Pickens leaving like gonna be a big deal too? Because I think they kind of got fleeced on that deal. I think it was only for a 3rd-round pick.
Oh, they did get fleeced.
I think they got fleeced. I think Pickens is worth more than that.
I think he was only on a 1 year left on his rookie contract.
Got you.
So they didn't want to pay him the mega max, and I think they're trying to downsize. I will say the Pittsburgh Steelers, Caleb Johnson, he's looking pretty fucking legit.
No, he could be good for sure.
I think the
I don't know.
Steelers getting way into it though. I think the Steelers next year are a team that makes on draft night tries to trade give up so much capital to get a franchise QB on draft night next year. I think that's what they try for.
See, unless Will Howard, Will
Howard.
Howard shows it in training camp, then sure. Or doesn't show it. So
Depends what their pick is though, to be honest. Like next year's QB draft is pretty good. Like there's a lot of good players coming out, but I mean
Arch Manning.
He might come out.
Oh,
I don't think he is though.
Stop it.
But I think Sellers is great. I think
he's only a sophomore.
He's coming out next year.
Hold on,
I think
we could talk college ball.
Well, yeah, we'll talk. Okay, I just want to bring up too. Is DK much of an upgrade as well? I don't know. I think Pickens and DK could be neck and neck in terms of potential.
See, I was talking that was the diamond. DK's more of a long ball threat, where Pickens is more of a spectacular catch kind of guy. Yeah. They don't have that other wide receiver to play small ball to reflect DK.
No, they don't.
They don't have a slot.
Tyler Lockett and DK in Seattle. That was a perfect miss. You have a long ball guy and you have a nice slant 10 curl route, bang.
Yeah.
But unless they have that, it's not going to be any sense. Which maybe they bring in Aaron Rodgers and helps him out. I don't know.
I doubt it.
Flipping it to the other side of Miami, I like Minka there. I like Fitzpatrick in Miami.
Yeah. You know why they got him? Because they needed to replace Holland, who went to the Giants, and I think Holland's an awesome piece for the Giants. So.
Further news in Miami, they just lost their number one corner. So things on the radar. Rasul Douglas is now getting interest from Miami. So we could see Rasul Douglas and Minka, which would be kind of lethal upon that offense. And let's see if Tua doesn't have CTE.
Yeah, Miami's always a question mark every year with that.
Yeah, I have no clue how that team's going to be. And they're just such a franchise.
They have potential, though, to be awesome every year. I mean, when you have Achane, you have Waddle, you have Tyreek. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I know.
Those three in itself could outrun every other player in the NFL.
Yeah.
It really literally comes down to how well their defense meshes together, and then if Tua can stay healthy, that's it.
100%. That's they
could win 12 games, or they could win 4.
Yeah.
It's such a flip flop with that team.
100%.
Another team I want to get into. We were all high on it last episode. The Los Angeles Chargers. Quentin Johnston still can't catch a football. Can't catch a football. He really can't catch a football. It's ridiculous. Ladd McConkey. There was a picture I saw on Twitter or X, and Johnston actually caught a deep ball in the red zone or in the end zone, and Ladd McConkey was sitting in front of him with his hands ready to undercatch it. So it was a completion. It was a 7-on-7 drill, and I was like, Quentin Johnston, you do not belong in the NFL. If anybody saw his highlight reel, look it up later. Look on Quentin Johnston's highlight reel of dropped balls on YouTube. It is
Dude, it's funny.
So bad. So bad.
It's funny.
What was the other? Oh,
Yeah.
Last thing that I can think of off top of the head, unless something comes up. Christian Wilkins leaving
Oh.
the Raiders.
True, we forgot
Yeah.
to talk about that. I don't
How do
know.
we feel about that?
I feel like the Raiders made a smart decision cutting him because they probably know something about his current situation with his foot that other teams aren't aware of right now. Because apparently he was rehabbing an injury and they didn't rehab it well enough where I guess he would be ready around the start of the season or through training camp. So I think it's a good decision to cut him to save that money, considering they are kind of in a rebuild, if so to say.
Still.
But whatever team he goes to, I'm just curious how many teams are going to be interested in him in general. I know a lot of Giants fans want him because, I mean,
dude, we could try to pick him up, dude. He'd fit in our scheme.
yeah, he played with Dexter Lawrence in Clemson.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean that would be an
Something I
insane
want-
duo, but it's not going to happen. with
Something-
Giants.
I wanted to bring this up is that he was rehabbing the injury and kind of babying it.
Mm,
That's why he got released. Pete
Gotcha.
Carroll found out that he was doing other outside activities with him exercising, not participating in practice, which is why the NFLPA gave him this grievance after he was cut from the Raiders.
yeah.
And now the NFLPA is facing court orders and all this other nonsense because of this situation. Now, it does save him in cap, but is he on teams' radars? Do you want someone who babies an injury because
Yeah,
your
that's-
team's championship anytime soon?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like-
That's the thing. He was such a hot
Impact player.
commodity,
Yeah.
in free
Yeah.
agency a couple years ago. I remember
Last year.
last
2 years ago.
2 years ago because he was in the same free agent. Well, no, what was it? So when the Giants were looking to upgrade the D line 2 years ago,
The draft
it was
draft
between
before you guys got Malik.
like the draft before Malik. Like we were looking either to get him or Burns in a trade, and we ended up getting Burns in the trade. So now that he's available, it's just pretty shocking, considering
I
he
mean,
was
that's
he's making so much, and then all of a sudden,
Oh yeah, he was making a biggie
It's
bet.
crazy.
Wasn't it like 64
Yeah,
million
I've
or
never
something
heard of
like
a
that?
Yeah.
player just be cut making that much. So, I mean, I'm sure it's happened in the past, but that's
True.
the thing. Who knows what team's going to pick him up? Will it be a contender? Who knows? But it could be a steal.
I did think of my last point. Cleveland Brown fans, you may have your shining star in Shador Sanders.
Are you kidding me?
Personally, I think
You're joking.
he's throwing more dots than Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. Dylan Gabriel
I would
is
put,
as well.
I haven't seen that.
I
Oh,
would
I have.
give you.
It's been nonsense.
I will put it
Dude's
on
on my
record.
fantasy team.
I'll put it on record. I'll give you a 20-piece McNugget or just $20 cash if on his first drive in the preseason he doesn't throw a pick or cause a fumble. I
That he does.
firmly believe
Or he
that
doesn't?
that he does.
Oh
I
my
firmly
God.
believe that he is not going to start. The starter in Cleveland is 100% somehow going to be Joe Flacco.
Well, he's not.
somehow.
He's not starting. That's a gimme. But no talk about Dylan Gabriel. It's all been Shador. So
He's
I mean,
gonna get cut.
you think
He's
Dylan
gonna get
Gabriel's
cut.
going to get cut? He was
I
drafted.
think he's
How
gonna
many?
get
He was
cut.
drafted 2 rounds before.
2 rounds
Shador.
before him. Yeah, third round.
What a
pick.
waste of a
Third
man,
round
The
pick.
Browns really have no idea what they're doing. They really don't.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
I have another thing. The Bears, the whole Chicago Bears situation this summer is straight commodity for me. How Caleb came out saying he really wanted to be Minnesota Vikings. How the Bears thought about passing up and going for JJ McCarthy. All a bunch of up your whatever. In my mind, I think that's bogus. Also, I found out that Ben Johnson, head coach, needed to made the offense run 7-on-7 drills until they didn't drop a ball. And it was like 4-hour practice. They were panicking. The offense was all out of sorts. Caleb wasn't hitting any targets. It was bad. And the offensive line was scrimmages. This is what I'm seeing on X
Well-
as well as other sources.
I can tell you why. I mean, they don't have the personnel to run a Ben Johnson system. That's what I think. I mean,
They
I
don't.
don't.
I mean,
I don't think Caleb Williams is very accurate of a passer, like Goff was. I don't know if they
That's
have the
true.
receiving, like. So
DJ Moore, like DJ Moore's
DJ Moore's good, but I mean, I don't
and
think
Roman
he's Amon
Dunze.
Ra. Robin Duze, we don't know what he is yet. I mean,
He's a
he
question mark.
he
Yeah.
could be really good, but
Didn't Luther Burden go there? Or
Luther
am I
Burden's
bugging?
their slot now.
Yes.
But
Yes.
he's not going to be able to do what Amon Ra's doing.
Amon Ra same. Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It's probably never will come to that. So Ben Johnson was so lucky to have the pieces that he had with the Lions that he was able to run such an impressive scheme. And if to think
Agreed,
that he's
agreed.
going to do the same thing with the Bears, run the same scheme, I don't think it's going to work very well.
Hear me out though. You're giving keys to the kingdom. You reshape and resize your whole offensive line. You have way more weapons than what you did have coming off your last year with Detroit. And now, well, I wouldn't say running back. So maybe I'll take that one out of there.
Yeah.
And you still can't make it work. You have to have like a 4-hour 7-on-7 drill with
Well,
these
look
players.
how
Well,
young the players are that he's dealing with.
That's what I'm saying. Half those players are under year 2.
Yeah.
DJ Moore,
He's the only
Yeah,
one.
that's one guy.
That's one guy.
Cole Kmet,
Cole Kmet's
Cole
not
Kmet's
not
not
been
good, bro.
relevant in like 3 years, dude.
They
DeAndre Swift.
Swift. They traded out of the Lions because he was bad. They literally trade him
No,
away.
I'm talking about in Chicago.
I know, but like, I'm pretty sure they traded him out of Detroit the year
No,
Ben
he just-
Johnson became
he just-
OC there.
He signed with oh no, did he get traded? He might have get traded
I
for
think
David
he got.
Montgomery, actually.
I think he got
Yeah,
traded
right.
for
I
Montgomery.
think that was part of that. I'm pretty sure that was that trade.
Yeah, it was.
Actually,
So
I don't think it was. I thought it was a signing, and the
no,
Lions
Montgomery went there as a free agent. I think.
yeah,
I
and
think
then
so.
Swift went to the Bears. That's what
Yeah,
I believe it
And
was.
Swift, I think it was
looked
a
like
free
it.
agent thing. It wasn't a trade. Yeah, it wasn't a trade. It was free agent.
I mean, that's still like all right in there. You still have weapons doing 7-on-7 drills for 4 hours. I get it's only 2 years, but you have your number 1 overall quarterback.
He's
Number
not going to
one.
be the best quarterback in that draft, though. There's 2 quarterbacks that are going to be better than him, and I'm going to say it. Dude. I think J.J. McCarthy's one of them. That's going to be better than him. And obviously-
And,
Listen,
and
you
Bo,
Bo's.
and Bo.
We got to see year 2, but Bo was on. I mean, he
No,
played lights
I'm
out, man.
fully-
No lie, he did.
I'm
Yeah.
fully
Yeah,
I'm fully convinced on Bo. Fully
I like Bo
convinced.
too, man. I like Bo too.
I did. Yeah, I think that division is going to be a barn burner this year. All 4 of those teams, but you better, Greg. You better just pray you whoop their ass week 1 on Monday night. You got the primetime game, bro.
Bears
you
aren't
better
gonna be
pray
good.
you whoop their ass.
I'm out on the
I'm
Bears already.
locked in. One thing I do want to bring up, I forgot his name, but Anzalone, that middle linebacker, blonde hair, they call him Sunshine for the Detroit Lions.
Oh yeah, he's dirty as fuck.
He actually is in a holdout with the Detroit Lions
No way.
issues.
No way. That's
So,
funny.
Will get your Cincinnati Bengal bell. Hopefully,
Dude,
comes
he's the
over.
new he's the new Vontez Perfect, bro.
Yeah, we
That's-
need that. We
he's
need
literally
that
that.
back.
He's literally that
If
type of
I
player. He's
can-
just
if
hits
I
people
can- if we
dirty.
if we can get him in the Bengals defense, dude, and then just absolutely just end Aaron Rodgers' career, that'd be fantastic with me.
Oh, that's a good question. Does Aaron Rodgers finish off the season without an injury?
Yes,
You think so?
I don't know.
This
I
last
think it's gonna be
It's
tough.
his
too.
retirement tour. Going back to
He's
what Will said
old,
before,
bro.
this is easily his last season. He announced this is his last.
Dude, I saw
I
a
think he's
photo.
done.
I saw a photo of him at training camp, and people were commenting, "Why does this dude look like he's 50 years old?" And he
He
did,
is,
bro.
bro.
He's all
He
gray,
basically is.
wrinkly. Like I
I
swear,
think he's like 45. Isn't he 45?
He's 40.
he's 40,
40?
40 on the
What's
dot.
Joe-
bro.
Joe Flacco's
He
then
looks
45.
older than 40 though.
Yeah. Joe Flacco looks like he's pushing more weight than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers
He
literally
does.
probably goes into the weight room lift session and just probably just stands there in the corner.
Yeah,
He just doesn't do. They
He
just
doesn't
give
lift.
him that title.
Oh
He
my
doesn't
God.
lift,
Oh.
dude.
Sorry, one last thing. It's overhyped right now. Travis Hunter, Jackson Jack he was catching very mean slant routes with Trevor Lawrence. I don't think it's going to be a big thing. Duval County now we're talking about. That whole entire division's trash can. Truthfully,
Duval.
Travis Hunter, I would just want to see what he does. I really want to see what the Jaguars do.
Yeah.
Player that can go back and forth. And
I-
if he does, is he like a Jabril Peppers in Michigan? There for a few plays during the for the whole game, and then one specific position on the field for the whole game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
He
think
was-
he's in a great situation because think about, so I think as a corner, he's going to be elite. I think he has all the skill sets to be elite
Yeah.
because his ball skills are insane. So he could just play man to man and just, stick to guys. But as a receiver, I mean, he's going to have so many looks if he does play now that they have a pretty nice receiving core. And I'm pretty high on him this year on both sides of the ball. I think they're going to use him both sides, and I think people are going to be surprised how many snaps he plays. I really do. I think they're going all in on him.
They have to. They got to
Yeah.
galvanize that entire franchise. I
Yeah.
personally think that I'm one of Trevor Lawrence's biggest fans, but I personally think that, dude, it's becoming the 11th hour for him in Jacksonville. I think if he doesn't produce a very solid season this year,
I agree.
I would not be surprised if in the spring they're picking up the phone, listening to deals.
Man, I wonder
Um,
what
I
teams
agree.
would trade for him. That's a
There's a
crazy
lot. I think
situation.
that there's a lot, and I think that if Trevor Lawrence does get in a situation where he's around a better staff overall from the start, from the jump at a new franchise, I think it could be dangerous. But if he doesn't
I
go
can
for
think
over
of three
30,
right now.
I
I can think
think
of three other teams.
I mean, I could think of one right now, the Rams, and then he just takes over next
the
year for
New
him.
York Giants,
Bro, stop it.
the
No.
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
I think that's another one, dude. Dak Prescott. I think if they don't win a playoff game, you want to talk about winning a playoff game? If the Dallas Cowboys don't win a playoff game this year, Jerry Jones is cutting all of those motherfuckers. I'm telling you right now,
They
he's
look
only
like-
going to keep CeeDee
they
Lamb.
look bad right now, by the way, in camp.
Micah,
Apparently.
they're gonna sign. I think Micah's like on the verge of signing.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to sign Micah. They're going to keep CD, but like Dak's going to be gone. I have no question in my mind if they do not win a playoff game this year. He is in year 10. It's been a decade of this guy. He has to win a playoff game this year, and if they don't, he is gone. I would bet the house on that. I'd bet the house on that.
Another team I was thinking was Arizona doing a Kyler Murray switch
Oh,
handoff.
man, Kyler's nice, bro.
But
I think Kyler
don't
Murray
think
on that team
Arizona.
would be nice.
I also don't think Arizona has the cojones to do that trade.
Nah,
for
they
Trevor
don't.
Lawrence.
No way. No way.
No, they've rode with Kyler for this one.
I'm
don't
telling
think
you
that they're
right
gonna-
now, I think Jacksonville would take that trade all day if they just straight up swapped. I think Jacksonville would take that trade all day if it does come
With
down
Kyler?
to that. Yeah, I think.
I
Yeah.
would.
I think Jacksonville would be ecstatic if some sort of deal
I
like that
think-
happened.
I think Jacksonville would take on a pick too. It wouldn't just be straight up. Because
No,
you're talking about Trevor
no.
Lawrence, who's younger, taller, more athletic. I mean,
Nah,
Kyler's faster, but
Kyler's insane, bro. Like he gets a lot of shit because of, his height and how he hasn't performed well recently, but he had a crazy injury and he is insane mobility wise. He runs around the
we're
pocket like
talk-
crazy.
but his accuracy's bad. His deep ball's not great anymore.
Last year, I'm giving all that to the OC of the Cardinals for the lack of production. Whatever they were doing last year didn't work out. They have Marvin Harrison. They have who's their tight end?
Trey McBride,
Trey
James
McBride.
Conner, Kyler Murray. Yeah.
I mean, they have everything to succeed. So
Last training camp, Emeka Ibuka will outpace Chris Godwin for the number 2 wide receiver position. And don't be surprised if
I
Chris
like that.
Godwin is a free agent next offseason.
didn't he just sign a contract though with them?
I thought Mike Evans did. I don't know.
No, I
One
think
of
it
them did.
was I think Mike Evans is playing out his contract, but I think Godwin signed it. A new contract.
If so, then I can see
But-
Godwin then Ibuka. But
I-
Baker and Ibuka are loving life right now.
I think what I think is that if one of those two get hurt, like Evans or Godwin, Ibuka's going in there right away and shining. That's what I think happens.
Easily.
But
Yeah.
I think he'll stick to as the wide receiver 3 for now. But I think Ibuka is the type of player where he is humble enough, considering what he did at Ohio State, taking spotlight off of himself to win. I think he's, a good team player, a good locker room guy, and he'll fit in so well to
Easily.
any situation,
I mean,
whether sitting
think
or
about
not.
that. Baker, your future is Baker, Bucky, and Ibuka.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's pretty fire.
Yeah, insane.
And you have Kate Otten. Kate Otten is very slept on. Very slept on.
Oh yeah,
I like him as a tight end.
yeah, I like him too.
But I think that's all. I mean, I'm surprised I haven't heard so much about the Panthers. I'm also surprised I haven't heard about the Broncos.
I hear that
These are all teams.
Ted McMillan's nice. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Like very
This
good.
is just like the things I've been not hearing about, and I just also Matthew Golden. I haven't heard much about him. In Green Bay.
I haven't heard much.
We'll see. It's only been a week, dude.
Baltimore too. Yeah, it has only been.
It's only been a week. There's going to be more to come when the preseason games start rolling out, man.
So, yeah, you're right. Shifting this conversation, I just want a measly 3 from everybody. I want 3 of your biggest breakout players in fantasy or real life, and then 3 of your biggest busts of this season coming into it. When I say bust, they need to be a round 1 to 3 pick, and the breakout needs to be around 5 to below to be eventually around 1 next year.
Okay. I would say probably like from this, are we only talking rookies here, or are we just talking everybody in general?
Everybody in general. You can even say Justin Jefferson. I don't care.
No, I was gonna say I'm definitely gonna say putting a lot of stock once again in a guy who I've had on my fantasy team since the jump is Amon-Ra again in Detroit. I think he's just going to put up stupid numbers again from Goff. Their offense is going to be great. I can't complain. I've had him for the past 3 seasons in fantasy, so like obviously I'm going to be riding that wave until the end. But I'm going to look for Amon-Ra. I think that's just a given.
Do you think he's gonna break out to the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy? Because right now he's a first round pick.
Dude, it's so hard because you have Jay Jettas and Jamar. Like, it's so hard. But, like, dude, in fantasy, like, he's putting up numbers, man. And he has been since the jump.
But he's a slot.
I would go.
So it's
yeah, but they give him the ball so much, though.
New OC.
Cooper Kupp.
New
Cooper Kupp was never a first round pick. Oh, no, he was, but he was never.
Cooper Kupp had 2 good seasons, though, in his whole career, pretty much. So
I don't know. I think I'm gonna rock with Amon-Ra with that one. I like low key. I don't know, man. The person that I'm thinking of right now, you guys are just gonna disagree with for fantasy, and like I'm just throwing a shot in the dark with this one. Who's someone who I really hope is gonna be on the come up, but I really hope that Bryce Young puts up numbers, dude.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Really hope
I like Bryce
that he puts up numbers. That was my number 2 there. Bryce Young, I really think, is he going to be your if you're in a 12-team league, right? And you have him, chances are he's not. You have another quarterback on your roster already that you're planning on starting. Like, let's be real. But that is 100% someone in a random week that could put up 35.
Okay. You know how bad Patrick Mahomes is in fantasy football. Do you think he outpaces Patrick Mahomes in fantasy football? Let's be real here. Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is kind of subtly ass in fantasy.
His deep ball has been terrible last few years. Him and Worthy have not been connecting. But once they do, bro, I'm telling you, Patrick Mahomes is back.
Dude.
Once they start connecting those deep balls.
Look at Bryce Young. You've Ted McMillan now. Dude.
Well, comparing him to Mahomes is crazy right now. That's crazy. Fantasy-wise, that's still crazy. I
still think that's a little
Mahomes is like top 5 QB potential every year.
Okay.
I think that Bryce Young is a player that will pretty consistently, hopefully, give you like 17, 18 a game, I think, because he's got to be doing everything in Carolina. Let's be real. He's going to have to put points on the board for that team. And then my last one is someone we also mentioned before, someone who I fucking love, dude, on the Chargers, man. It's Lad, bro. I think Lad
Lad's
is a
nice,
beast.
bro.
I think
Lad's
Lad is a
nice.
beast. I think that is a type of receiver again that is going to be catching a lot of balls this year from Herbert, and that offense is going to be geared a lot probably through him. And he's someone who's going to consistently put up fantasy numbers. Now, is he the greatest receiver of all time? And like, are we putting him in the top five like real life? No, I'm not doing that. But I'm saying fantasy wise, that is someone who I think is going to have a breakout and just be scoring
Fair
touchdowns.
enough. Fair enough.
So those are my three.
I mean, for
That's your
me,
breakout player.
I like I mean, what I've been hearing about Waddle is like he's looking really good so far. So I'd probably say Waddle as my first one. I think he has like a 1,200 yards
No,
season.
I like Waddle. It's really depending on Tua though. That's the thing.
Exactly. But that I mean, I'm okay. I'm willing to, bet on Tua staying
Gamble with
healthy. Yeah, and Waddle having a
Okay.
crazy year. The second one, I think Devontae Adams is gonna have a crazy year with the Chargers. I mean,
That's a good call
Rams,
out.
not
I'm not gonna
Chargers.
lie.
Rams. Yeah,
I
because the
totally
Rams
forgot about that. He was on the
Rams
Rams.
are gonna be really good on offense, and I think Devontae is gonna have a crazy year. So, and then the
Just
other
wait until
one,
we get to bust. Just wait until we get to bust.
Oh.
You're gonna hate me.
and then honestly, I was thinking of some of the higher tier players. Like I want to say Malik Neighbors, not as, just because. Like I really do. Like people are still, I think, sleeping on him. Like I think he's a top
Fair
five.
enough.
I think he's a top five receiver in the league, and I don't think he's gonna be getting that
was
praise till it's done. So
I was debating on putting him in there just because of your quarterback carousel that you guys have going. Um, if so, I still see him impeding over 1,200 receiving.
I
I
think
still
Malik's
see
getting like
him.
15.
I think he's a top 5 wide receiver going into next season because you have to outpace Jefferson, Chase, and Rob Puka.
I
You
think
can outpace AJ Brown. You can. Um,
yeah.
I agree. I was gonna lay it in there, but if Jackson Dart starts week 3 and starts throwing bombs to Malik Neighbors, this dude's gonna be insane. But if you have Jameis Winston in there in week 3 and 6 touchdowns, maybe those 6 touchdowns are in
Well,
order.
the one thing I'm worried about is actually injuries for Malik because apparently he's been dealing with a toe injury this whole off season. So
That's what we forgot to talk about. Justin
Justin Fields hamstring. Nah, he'll be fine though.
We go a little bit,
Yeah, but yeah, I think Malik. There's potential if the Giants are really crappy that he sits out and gets surgery on his toe. Like that has been up for debate right now, and rumors have been going on with
Get
that.
your star players healthy. Get your star players healthy.
I mean, yes, I think Malik goes crazy this year if the Giants are somewhat relevant, but if the Giants have only 4 wins in the first 12 weeks, then I don't know.
Do you remember the season Kirk tore his Achilles?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
We were a game behind in the playoff hunt. Justin Jefferson did not play the remaining of the season because of that injury. And Justin Jefferson had a hamstring bother. They held him out for 2 to 3 extra weeks. They let him play for week 16 and stopped him because of player safety and health.
Oh wow.
You want your star players to be healthy for the longevity. If that's what they got to do for Malik because the Giants are a little sussy,
It might happen.
I'd appreciate the Giants.
Yeah.
My top 3 breakout players are a little odd. I think Ashton Genty will be a top 3 running back. After
You
this season.
hated Ashton Genty, and now
I
you're
don't want to
saying
hear this
this.
shit.
I've been
Yeah,
an
I don't wanna
Ashton
hear this
Genty
shit,
guy
dude.
all year, and you shit on me
You
for
want to
it.
talk about
And now
this
you're
is the
saying
craziest
he's
switch
gonna
up
be a
of all
top 3
time.
running back. Crazy.
Oh my
I'm
god.
glad. I'm
Oh
glad.
my
You know what? No,
God.
I'm happy. I'm happy because you switched, and I wanted that. So thank you for
I'm-
realizing how good Ashton Genty is. Thank you.
I'm
Jesus.
I'm high key hyped to go and watch him in Philadelphia when I go.
He's insane,
I'm
bro.
excited. I'm excited to see what Pete Carroll can do with him. Now, I think there's a ceiling with Pete Carroll because look what Pete Carroll did with Marshawn Lynch. This is where I'm a little. I don't think he has the attitude like Lynch does, but I think if he's in Raider Nation for that long and Carroll's still running that team, if he doesn't die from a heart attack, because who knows? Sorry. The dude could he could be phenomenal. I will say this. Ashton
He's
Genty
gonna
That
be
was actually the
different, man.
last. That was the last name that I thought was going to come out of your mouth. Like that
That's
was actually the last
same.
name
I
that
thought
I
you were a
thought was
Genty
going to come out of your
hater.
mouth. I
My switch up was real here. I saw some film. I
Bro.
got behind it. He can catch balls. He's insane.
He
insane.
literally you can't be. He's like the most untackleable player I've ever seen play running back in our lifetime. I've never seen a player bounce so many tackles in college ever. If he can do that in the NFL, this man is going to like Saquon potential, man. Like he's gonna be that good.
Okay, now I agree. Going into my second pick, I'm really on the fence with these two names because one, I deeply hate just from my fandom, and the other one, Matt, you said it before, it's hard for any type of thought process behind this card. I'm going to start with the one that I deeply hate, and it's Caleb Williams. Being
Okay.
Caleb Williams, I think he'll eventually adapt to his stardom that he had and get in sync with throwing to DJ Moore, throwing to Roma Dunze Moore, and Luther Burden. Now, the other one was Bo Nix. We don't know what kind of talent is there in Denver. I like Bo Nix coming along in that structure, but who knows? Are you guys just on your phone texting?
No, I was looking at players.
no, I'm looking. I'm looking at
looking.
something. I'm looking at something right now.
I
just saw
had a
something
list of
come up.
players that I wanted to bring up. So
Okay, fair
I'll
enough.
bring up after you're done though.
Because someone, I just saw something about the Patriots pop up. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was though.
Now, Caleb Williams, in my mind, is probably going to get the step forward over Bo Nix because, one, it's Caleb Williams. I can hate him as much as I want to. I just think this guy will reface Chicago football, especially in a new regime and a new stadium and new everything. They're building it for him, pretty much. Now, my last guy, and it's not really a bigger boost. Actually, rethinking of this? Nah, we're gonna scratch that. I'm gonna go with Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith is gonna be the real deal this year. So I think AJ Brown. I don't want to pray for any injuries, but I think he'll get tired, break down. He'll start losing his. Devonta Smith starts carrying. I don't think he'll be that good, but coming as that number 2 guy will make him the number 1.
Wow.
That's in my mind. We can also talk about the Atlanta Falcons. I think that's another move that could be subtle. He kind of bricked top 10 wide receiver last season, but I can't give it to Michael Penix. I can't. Sorry. There's too little there to see any evidence. That's my breakout players, I guess. If we can go into bus real quick, we can go into bus, but
I can
Yeah.
name my 3 right now.
Go ahead.
off rip, go.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. I'm always
Garrett Wilson.
I traded this guy for Achan. And I traded
Garrett Wilson.
Just wait.
What a
Just
trade
wait.
by me. What a trade.
I have
see it
some-
happening.
I have something looming in our dynasty channel. Just relax.
Well, I'm trying to do the same right now. Not with Will, with someone else. But I might be on a rebuild path soon. But anyway,
Garrett Wilson.
I'm with
Okay.
Number 2. I'm really feeling it, dude. Michael Penix.
you. Ah. Dude,
I
what?
just have. I'm so just
That's just a bust right
lukewarm.
there.
I'm just so lukewarm on the franchise of the Atlanta
I
Falcons.
like
I just
Drake
don't see
London though.
Michael Penix.
I think Drake London's a
I
stud.
think I think he's good. I agree with you. I think he's gonna be good, but I have to say Michael Penix is got to be there. And then I have 3A and 3B.
Oh boy.
3A is 100% Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Like
Whoa,
not even
that's a good one.
not
That was one of mine.
not even a
I was gonna
not
mention.
even a question. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be Dak Prescott. And
I do
then
have a question. I do have a concern about
go
that.
ahead.
You just added George Pickens. CD Lamb is looking a lot
No
nicer.
run game. O line is still in question. And if you don't have a run
Uh,
game in the NFL, they're just gonna cover you. Like they're just gonna, you know,
Now, I'm not doing this
sit
defensive
back.
because he's on my team. I just think it's going to be less obvious of a bust. How about that?
Okay. I just think if when you don't have a run game in the league, you're just not gonna be able to pass well. But
That's
And I
anyway.
have a
just
3B. I have a
Go
3B. It's Olave.
Yeah, Olave's been hurt though. So
I
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Like Olave, I think he's talented, but
and
he got his head knocked
his
off.
his quarterback situation is so sussy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's how I look at it. Both being hurt and the quarterback situation. The whole situation in New Orleans is bad. Like he's not
Yeah.
going to be producing. So that's my B.
All
That's
right.
fair. That's fair.
I got a bold one. I wonder if you guys are gonna think about this.
Oh,
Marvin
shit.
Harrison Jr. has another stinker season.
Again.
What do you guys think of
Oh,
that? I think he might.
I mean,
I think
I
Marvin
don't
Harrison had
know.
another stinker season because of the
Kyler
OC.
Murray.
No, I think Kyler Murray's good. I just don't think. I don't know who the OC is in Arizona, but whoever he is, their offense was terrible last year, and I don't think they replaced him. So, I just don't think they're gonna set up Marv to be successful. And I also don't think that Marv is very quick. I think he's a pretty slow player, and I don't know if he's going to have the route running as like as good as he'll need it to be in order to be successful while not being very fast. I look at Malik, put it this way. I look at Malik and I look at Marv, and considering Marv was the higher prospect in that draft and seeing how good Malik is compared to Marv at this stage in their career, I don't know if Marv's ever going to reach his
I
potential.
wish I could. Low key, I wish I could clip this right now, bro.
You really think he's going to be
And
good?
just, I think it's going to be a lot better than last year. Yeah, but
What's better,
he
though?
ended
What's better?
he ended with 900 in receiving yards.
Yeah, that's bad.
900.
That's bad for a 17 game season. That's bad.
You think
As a
he's
rookie.
going to do worse?
No, but what is successful for you? Like how many yards? I think he gets like 11. You think he?
No, I think he gets more, dude, because I think that they're just going to be they're going to be forcing it a lot to him. To be fair,
Oh,
I
I
think
lied. I lied. He had 885 or
885.
Tell me
And how many touchdowns?
8.
8. Okay, so he had a decent amount of
Averaged
touchdowns.
Averaged 14 yards for 62 receptions. I mean, okay, go on. Sorry.
I'm just saying, like, what successful to me is him being like top 15, trying to get the top 10 by the end of the year. I don't see it. I think he'll probably need like 1,400 yards to get to that conversation. I just don't think he does it. I think he gets like 11, 1,200.
I don't know because
and
he was just so.
people
the
are
thing
gonna
is he
start
was
saying what?
he was so elite in college, and I know it doesn't translate to the NFL, and I know that's the argument, but like, I don't know, man. I think he still has all the potential to be a great wide receiver in the league. I really do.
But like,
But that's my
look at
opinion.
Malik Neighbors compared to him. They're just like in different leagues of their own right now.
Yeah,
Which is what
I-
bothers me because of how highly regarded Marv was going into last year's draft. You know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
true.
like
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
like Malik is on another level, man. He's fast, he's super agile, really big. You know, I don't know, insane route running, insane hands. I just don't see Marv having all the the juice to reach his potential. I don't know.
Is there anybody else that you have? That was your first one.
Yeah, I don't really have three. That was like the main one I was thinking of. I did have another player though I was pretty high on actually. It was Xavier Worthy. I think Xavier Worthy's gonna have a really good year. I was seeing this cut up someone did on YouTube of all the deep balls Mahomes missed on Xavier Worthy last year. If they're able to
It's
connect
bad.
on it, yeah, Mahomes was really bad with the deep ball last year. But if they're able to connect on that next year, Xavier Worthy's gonna be insane. Like he's the fastest receiver in the league. They already have certain plays for him, the end around plays. In the Super Bowl, he had an insane deep ball, like touchdown. I mean, there's so many flashes for him to be good. On top of that, Rashid Rice might get suspended first probably few months of the year. I mean, it's looking good for him. So other than that, I really had nothing else. But yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna start off with this one. It's a little crazy, Matt. I don't think you like it. Kyron Williams,
He's a
my number
bust.
one bust right there.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
he's
high
gonna
on
be a
Kyron.
bust.
Nah, I'm with you.
That's fair.
I think Kyron Williams loses his touch. I think Rams have to panic again and pivot to another running back, whether it be traded, whether it be signed in free agency or whatever. I don't think Kyron Williams is a real deal. You can say he's above him, run him to the ground. Running backs like that can't take that step. Second, Kenneth. I don't think he's going to be the real deal. I think Zach Charbonnet,
Okay, that's
Kenneth
fair.
Walker.
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker's getting a little older. Maybe that Seattle scheme is losing it. You can only do so much with Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
We all
that's
know
fair.
I the running
But-
back situations are always tough, but go ahead. Sorry.
It is. It is because they're being
They're random
demoted from
every
that.
year.
Yeah, like I'm gonna take those two and probably lie with it. Now this one is kind of like I guess you could say it's more of what I've seen It's more of a historical. Terry McLaurin, right? He has this whole contract situation, commander. And what happens besides Jamar Chase, whatever? What happens usually when a wide receiver holds out for a new contract? Look at Brandon Ayuk. What did he do last season? Dirt. Terry McLaurin ain't no Jamar Chase. T. Higgins, I think he took a step back last season.
I mean,
Even if Terry
don't know.
McLaurin gets paid, I think he takes a step back. And that was just to put it in there because Will took Garrett Wilson.
yeah.
But truthfully, I think it's Terry McLaurin's like right up there with Garrett Wilson. One step back, it could break it.
That's fair.
No, man, Jaden Daniels is so good though. I mean,
It's
like
true.
this guy's special. I don't know, man.
Agreed.
I think you have to consider Jaden Daniels his role in all this. Like McLaurin's never had a QB like him ever. So if you take that into consideration, you got to rethink that. I mean, you got to at least think like he's gonna
I've
do
been
something,
thinking
man.
about it, and he'll have a worse season than what he did last season. How about that? I think he had what?
Maybe
Says
he had like 15.
1,700.
He had 17. I thought he had like 15, 16. If he had 17, that's
he-
great. I could check.
I think he ended the year at the 7. I think he ended the year on rank number 7. That's just me. I do want to bring up this Justin Fields situation for the Jets and ESPN and this Sports Center and all that crap. This whole or apparent leg injury. Why are you dropping that to one of the most delicate fandoms of a franchise? They dealt with Aaron Rodgers. They're bringing all this stuff in, and now they have to deal with an apparent leg injury with Justin Fields, which was just a dislocation. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Are we really gonna get into this new regime of just exploiting news to make just like a clickbait scenario? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about it, leading up to this podcast, right? Like, I truthfully haven't watched ESPN in years. I don't really, the only thing I get from ESPN is their app, just score updates, right?
Yeah.
It's all for clicks. It's all for baiting now. Sports journalism it's got to be independent. ESPN took away all their good shows. We were talking about it before. Pardon My Take, Dan Le Batard show, all those shows kind of went by the wayside, and it's replaced with Stephen A. Smith, who's just a walking idiot, and even like Pat McAfee show. Like I said, that's the ESPN version of the Nelk Boys right there. Like I just don't. They do it for fun. And it's just kind of bullshitting around, but I think it's crazy, this whole thing. Not only with the Justin Fields thing, but all around the league and all around sports in general. They just don't have their shit together.
They just did it, what, today with Justin Jefferson? Oh, he has a severe hamstring injury. It's mild. Like, come on, bro. Get your sources
I
in
mean,
line. Get him in check.
hamstring, they could linger. Like I think that's why I'd be
Okay,
worried about it. Like McCaffrey had a
unless he
hamstring
had a
problem too, and then he ended up getting hurt. So I don't
but
know.
that's a whole different situation. He had a
He had a lot of
tendonitis, didn't he?
problems. Yeah, he's had a ton of
Like,
problems.
off of one minuscule hamstring pull. That's what we're
Nah, he'll be
severe.
fine. He'll be fine.
This is what I'm talking about. It's so loaded. Now, that was just the last take I wanted to bring up with the Jets and bring up with the NFL. Well, I know we had our conversation prior in the week. We can talk about whichever way you want to go about college football, whether you want to start on your tangent schedule, whether you want to start with just your love for the game, whatever you want to do. Floor's yours.
Yeah, no, I think it's an interesting point. Obviously we cover mostly pretty much exclusively the NFL here, but I think it's a good point to bring up college football because I've always loved college football. It's what got me into football to start, even kind of a little bit before the NFL. Um, and
No,
it's
it's
just
fair.
we've reached this climax with the NIL stuff and the whole landscape of college football where, Cal, Stanford, and SMU are in the ACC, and Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA are in the Big Ten. It doesn't make sense. And the whole landscape is changing. We talked about it the other day. Trump is trying to roll out this kind of
New
legislative
order.
piece that essentially, like we were talking, kind of limits the third party investments coming into these players to commit to certain schools. And that's all well and good. I'm all for that. There needs to be some kind of limit to what these schools are doing. But the problem is unlike the NFL, where every team is on an equal playing field, right? Everyone's got the same facilities, the same kind of cap space, the same kind of just nuance with everything that they do as an organization. Whereas college teams are not like that, where you have Clemson and then you have, you know, ECU, or you have, the Air Force Academy and the Naval Academy. You have all these different programs and all these different conferences that I don't know how we can possibly regulate that. The schools with the most amount of boosters, with the most amount of fan bases, is going to have the most amount of money to pay to the players that they want. And it's never been more prevalent than it is now. I get back to, we're kind of coming
I,
full circle. Before NIL, right? If you transferred in conference, you had to sit out the whole next year. If you transferred somewhere else, bottom line, you had to sit out minimum of 4 games, right? So we did this whole branch out with NIL, with everyone getting paid so we can have a college football video game, which kind of sucks. Um, we did this whole branch out for people to
you
get paid,
haven't
and
stopped binge playing it, bro. Come on. You can't
yeah,
say
I know.
it's
I haven't. I listen. I'm guilty of that. But we branched out and made this big NIL tree just to now go back to what it was before. So limiting what boosters can do, limiting the amount of transfers. It's literally just what it was before NIL. So
So
what's
let
the
me just
solution here?
I just want to interject here. That order not only resurfaced the NIL deal and all that crap, they prevented those other businesses from jumping in, but they're making university put them on their bankroll, bringing in the labor laws of it. So if there's a private school, that private school or private university would have to put it under their, I guess, workforce, pay for their insurance, pay for all this other. So it would be more of like, all right, you want our one player, then you have to have access to him, and we'll have to pay that timely manner, like a minimum wage hourly pay. Where in other standpoints, if there's a state school is only minimum wage, like they can only go through the minimum wage federal act, and that's the way fashion was. They're trying to restrict it to kind of like a monopoly, but not. But as you said, if it gets too restricted, it's professional at that rate. If it gets
Exactly.
to a budgetary need or like a cap or like a whatever, it becomes a professional sports. Like Ohio State can probably pay their average player, let's just say 40 an hour, where Marshall couldn't pay half of that. Or like ECU couldn't even pay a tenth or like a third of it. You know what I'm saying? Like these
Yeah.
big name schools like LSU, Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, Penn State, like they can. But when it comes to the smaller schools, how does that? I mean, you can try and resurface to like state schools and make them go into the federal governance of Labor Act, have them be paid federally, but that doesn't even work out in that conversation because now the government is weighing in on how much college sports should weigh. And in that, this isn't just for college football. I'm talking about basketball as well. That kind of plays a bigger threshold than professional sport.
Yeah, because
My
it
mind.
becomes like, how the G League operates for the NBA, right? It essentially
Yeah,
becomes a feeder professional sports league to another professional sports league if we go down that path. And it's just, like I said, it's crazy how we went from having all of these things in place to now going on this wild goose chase of NIL to now circling back to basically what we had before.
yeah.
So I just don't like the current landscape. I think it really really hurts the game, and the disparity of good teams and teams that are not being
No,
able to compete. We look at it in the college football playoff last year, man. With it, if it
I
wasn't the
just
straight 12 teams, go ahead.
I I just hope it doesn't hit the game of football as hard as it hit basketball, as hard as it hit I wouldn't say baseball, but I want to say basketball. Basketball was at its peak in 2016, 28. Like when we were in college, it was at its peak. Now it's just what is going on? Like you don't
Yeah.
talk about March Madness kind of died. College football is like at least for me, and you could this is for all viewers out there if they're watching, they're not like you cannot lie to me that football has overtaken basketball. That could be just subjugated to how they are on the sports calendar, or it could be subjugated to how college sports have affected the transition into professional. Like college basketball is so empathetic, so I guess soft in that sense, where college football is like nitty gritty. You're gonna get a from Alabama, and they're gonna change your whole entire defense, and everybody's in on that. The out of pocket, out of line stuff, like everybody's in on football when it comes to players shifting to a new team from college to professional. We don't really see that in the NBA. The last one we saw was Zion, and that was the biggest buzz. You can say anything about Pablo Banchero, Bronny James. He isn't an impact. None of these players are a massive impact. Not a LeBron James. Where you look
Yeah,
at
because if you get them, if I'm all for people getting paid, but the amount that people are getting paid right now is just does that yeah, does that make the player jaded to the sense of the NFL? And then do we have trades going on? We essentially saw that with Nico Amilieva going to UCLA from Tennessee, and then Joey Aguilar going from UCLA to Tennessee. We basically had a trade
yeah,
borderline. And it just, yeah, I agree with you. It worries me because college football shapes the pros, and do they now become jaded to the fact that they're making all this money in so
college.
early
Yeah,
that
they
they
could just
don't
walk
need
away,
to,
Well,
yeah,
declare for the
well,
draft. Yeah,
or
that depends on what level they are. Because if they're a first round pick, I mean, they're going to NFL. But if they're like a fifth,
no,
fourth, or fifth round pick, they're probably getting paid more in college. Don't you think?
They don't have to do anything. If you're like Shador Sanders didn't have to declare, and he was getting paid what 47 million last season.
Yeah, but he's still getting
No, it
paid a
wasn't. It was
lot
like
now because of sponsorships. I'm sure of that.
Travis Hunter didn't have to go to Jacksonville, but now he's suffering in Jacksonville and right there right now. There's nothing to do, and he was making more in Colorado.
But
What
like
he's making
Dion
Yeah,
changed the
sounds
game
like
though. Dion changed the whole game in college.
yeah, well,
By
we're gonna see how that goes this
because
year.
he straight up said, I don't recruit. Like I just get
he
guys.
paid.
Yeah, like he just says like I don't visit
In the portal.
players. Yeah, he goes to the portal exactly. So he's kind of using the system to his advantage in a way now. And I think
And
he's the
that's the
first
and that,
coach to really like admit
Yeah.
like I'm using the portal. Whoever wants to come here like and be successful and make a lot of money, come here. You know, he's not visiting players
yeah,
from high
and
school. He's not doing any of that. So
I agree with like and to an extent you have to use the resources and everything that's available to you. And again, yeah, Deion Sanders is changing the game in that sense, but it just becomes where we draw the line essentially. Where does it
Well, you're breaking
it
up.
just
you're cutting out a bit. It's all right.
just come in. Can you hear me now?
You're coming back. Not really.
But,
No, you're getting worse.
You're getting worse.
Anyway, but like
Anyway,
going
going
off,
back to
yeah,
going off what he was saying is that it's basically like buying in players from the transfer portal, bringing them in, making them. Well, you're frozen on a spot right now. I can't stop.
I think you're okay though.
uh, go on. You can. Yeah, it's shot. I think he's shot right now. I think. Well, either way, the transfer portal is useful, but that also brings up the subject of how is Bill Belichick
Bill
with
Belichick.
UNC?
Yeah, you're good, Will.
all right.
Go ahead.
So yeah, just getting back to it. I like that you brought up Bill Belichick, right? Because I don't know if you guys saw, they had the media days for each conference,
Mhm.
and the ACC media day, the head coach of Pitt, Pat Narduzzi, was basically just taking shots at Bill Belichick. He's like, "Oh, they should be competing for a natty because they have Bill Belichick. Like, he should be able to pay anyone, like, and do anything that he wants." So that was pretty funny.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, you get to these, like, you essentially have transfers for no reason, right? Like, if you look at Carson Beck, he's one of the top
Yeah.
5 quarterback prospects coming out this year. He was the
Yep.
by far the starter at Georgia, and then he transfers to Miami because they
For
paid
his
him 7
girlfriend
mil.
and his
he
girlfriend.
lost his job in Georgia once he got hurt. Like he wasn't getting that
Yeah,
job
but
back.
it depends. I don't know.
Nah,
Like with Kirby Smart
that's
and everyone there, I
nah.
don't
They
know.
don't do that in
It
college,
depends.
bro. Once
Well,
you lose your
also,
position, you're out.
if you think about
It
it, do you really
depends.
want to declare? You really want to declare for the draft on injury? I don't think anybody does.
No,
No,
no.
no, but I'm saying it as a microcosm example of people basing decisions not on what's going to get me more ready for the NFL or what transfer program fits me in a scheme that fits me. They're just saying, all right, where can I get the biggest bag? And then saying, if I make the NFL, great. If not, I'll just transfer again.
Correct. Correct. And this is the pure
You know
hatred
what
I
I'm
have
saying?
right
You
now
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because it's a make or break road for the NFL, at least for college players, because one, as we said before, they could stop. They don't have to declare for the NFL draft, or they could
Yeah.
venture off and become this businessman or whatever, TikTok famous, or they could actually go into the NFL and try and make the love of the game continue. But that's just a concept do. I basically never want to face. I love football
Yeah.
in general.
It's a whole gigantic tangent, but it applies to the NFL as well, because where does every college football player who's good go? They go to they try to go to the NFL, and
Yeah.
it's a question that is
I
almost
mean,
impossible to solve.
perfect example of it is Johnny Manziel. He had too much illegally at hand, and look what happened to him. Everybody wanted him to succeed in the NFL. Everybody did after A&M. He had
Yeah.
too much money. He did too much partying and too much drugs.
He was
even
also on the
said it
Browns, though. I mean, let's be
Okay,
honest.
he could have gotten traded. Look what happened to Teddy Bridgewater. He got traded several times, but he also had a lethal injury. If he was on the Browns, whatever reason. I mean, look what Baker Mayfield did. He even said on someone's podcast that he wished he did his journey to the NFL so differently because he misses the sport. He misses playing. Like he wanted to be a great quarterback in the NFL, which he could have been, but it was the money given to him. Now you give that to any college kid. Come on, you guys are gonna lie to me here and say you wouldn't spend it on everything and anything in college if you were given $36 million plus.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's crazy money for college, dude. Like, you
In
just throw
college?
like half of that shit and you just invest half of that, you're good for life. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to
That's
do
what I'm saying. You don't
anything.
even need to play. You don't even gotta play football no
It's
more,
like
man.
crazy,
it's,
man. It's crazy that
You-
money.
some
So-
people that play football have like degenerate homes, degenerate lifestyles growing up, and they just spend it on whatever they were. That's what happens, and that's what dwindles the NFL, in my mind, or at least the window from college to the NFL. But
No,
I'm sorry, I can go on a tangent
you're-
about this forever.
No, I think there definitely needs to be more regulation. But as we've seen in college football, it's like as at least like in the last 4 years or so, or since the playoff was made, the amount of changes that happen in college football are going to be consistent and constant. Like there's gonna be new changes every year. So I don't know if
Yeah.
players are going to allow the whole system to kind of rewind. And I think, if anything, the players are going to want more money, especially players that aren't the stars, you know. So I'm just going to stick to what I texted you guys. I think there needs to be a commissioner for college football. I think that
No.
there needs to be somebody who sets a standard.
But
It
then
becomes
here's
a
the problem
professional
with that.
sport.
What?
Yeah, here's the problem with that. Do you like Roger Goodell?
Yeah, but like,
Do you like the shit that the NFL constantly implements?
but you're
Fuck
acting
Roger
as
Goodell.
if like Roger Goodell is going to be the commissioner. That's not like, no, bro.
But it's the same. We're just making it the NFL.
So who's
then.
deciding? Who's making all these decisions then, in terms of
All right, do you
It's the
player?
NCAA committee. But listen, this is
Who are
hold
the
on,
exact
hold on.
same
Even-
people
even-
that Roger
even
Goodell
better,
is?
even better,
Like all of
even
them.
better. Do you like the XFL or the CFL?
But what's your point?
That's what college football would turn into.
No, because college football is rich tradition.
Nope. If you put a commissioner in charge with a salary cap in place, that will be the standard.
I'm
of
not
the
saying add
entire
salary
college football.
cap. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying have someone be the head of final decisions. Like someone has
you're
to
saying-
like.
You're saying eliminate the NCAA.
No, that has nothing to do with it. I'm just saying college
No.
football is so big now, and
Yes,
the
but-
players make enough money where it's like you can't just figure things out and then, hopefully things work out. Like you need to have someone that could kind of like dictate a certain.
Correct
don't
me
know.
if I'm wrong, but isn't that the NCAA's position?
Yeah.
Dictating paths and it's voted. Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
Does the NCAA
that's exact. It's a whole committee. But again, it just I don't know.
I'm talking
Like I said,
strictly football.
No,
though.
yeah.
Like,
There's no
strictly
easy
football.
way. There's no easy way to go about this to maintain the status of college football as technically an amateur sport, but still catch these big bags.
But you know what I'd argue too? It's that college football is bigger now than probably, like right now. I think college, because of the video game as well. I think college football is as big as it was since like Johnny Manziel days. Because I think that was also a peak of when, and that was what 2014.
Yeah.
2013,
2012.
And we
2012. Okay.
and we didn't have. No, I would say even 2017 with LSU.
True. That was another peak.
Well,
But,
that's
like,
was that
2019.
20?
Joe B
2019. Yeah, my
2019,
bad.
yeah.
and T Law. Yeah, I mean,
Let's talk
I
about
would
somebody
agree.
I think
I
it's
would-
so
I would
big right
agree with
now.
that.
College football's so big. Like, so to assume that it's gonna like be diminished in any sort of way, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know. If
It's
anything,
not
I
the
think it gets
diminishment
bigger.
of college. It's not the diminishment of college football I'm worried about. It's the diminishment of NFL.
I see. I disagree too. I think the NFL is in a good. It's at a good point right now. I mean, a lot of the big time players, like look at quarterbacks. Who are the best quarterbacks to come out as of recent, and how many years did they spend in college? You know, look at Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, for example. Bo Nix has the most starts ever, I think, in college football, and he's doing pretty well in NFL. Same with Jaden Daniels. I think he played for 4 years. I think that will incentivize players to stay in college longer, to then get better, and to then get drafted
Yeah.
higher. Then they'll make more money
But
in
then what-
college by staying, and then NFL will succeed more too because they'll be more developed.
Yeah, I mean
know
that's
what name-
definitely an avenue. Definitely an avenue. It's
And
kind of a
the name
it's
you
kind of a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword.
What?
A name you did bring up was Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, he's
Dude,
was he
the party,
30?
the mailman, the party legend. How many SEC championships does that motherfucker have? A lot. How many natties
Dude,
does he have?
he carried
few.
A
Georgia.
lot.
So he carried that team. So I don't want to hear any Stetson Bennett slander, bro.
Yeah.
He would absolutely in a bar fight, he would knock JJ McCarthy's nose into his asshole.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not even a
I-
question.
He wouldn't even have to fight JJ McCarthy. He would have to.
He would fight. He would fight anybody, dude. But it's like I just wanted to bring it up, like because it's an interesting. The whole thing with college football and the NIL. It's like it's a
Yeah.
very interesting topic that, like I said, you can debate forever. Like this is not
Yeah.
a quick fix thing, because it's such a big. There's 136 Division I FBS teams, and they're not all on the same playing field. So how do you make them on the same playing field?
They'll never
So
be on the
that's
same
my-
playing field, though.
I agree.
They
essentially,
never will,
but
and they never have
in-
been.
I understand that.
Unless you want a
but in an
30-team
idea-
league, like I don't know what you want.
I think that that's going to happen.
So one.
I think there is going
league.
to be
That's
a league above now Division I FBS, and I think it's going to have like 30 teams of the biggest teams around the country, and it's going to break off separately. I genuinely think that's where we're going.
I don't think it's going to happen because then all the funding for the D1 schools that, like, let's say, like ASU, for example, I would say they're emerging right now as a pretty good college.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be in that conversation, but they're good. Like, I think ASU has a good future as a program.
I understand that, but do you remember when in Europe a few years ago we were talking about the Super League, right?
Yeah.
I genuinely think that the biggest 30 teams across the country in college football are like trying to set themselves up for something like that.
Man, I mean,
Because with these
I don't
teams moving conferences like they're moving, not paying attention to any of the rivalries, any of the, traveling, because it costs a shit ton of money to travel a whole football team. These smaller schools can't do that. These big schools in the Pac-12,
Oregon.
when they joined the Big Ten, or these big schools
Yeah.
in other parts of the country join the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference, even though they're in fucking Berkeley, California.
Yeah.
You're telling me that
Stanford.
that's not Stanford, Cal. You're
Cal.
telling me that that's not a move to establish just one. Like the SEC has 30 teams.
So
That's what it's going towards.
Who's going back to the Pac-12 then? Because they're remaking that, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be Washington State, Oregon State, Fresno State, Colorado State, Texas State, Boise State, Utah
That-
State, and San Diego.
That conference sucks. Oh my god.
Well, that's what I'm saying. These
You'd
bigger
think it'd
teams
be
in
better,
the
but
top heavy part,
Jesus.
in the top heavy half of their conference, saw the writing on the wall. They're like, if we want to compete for national championships, we have to ditch our own league and go somewhere else, even if that means traveling
That
across
makes
the country
sense.
5 times a year.
Makes a
So
lot of sense,
you can't
though.
tell me that they're not poised
Yeah.
to start their own mega conference and be like the top 30 teams. This is what
Man,
it comes down to. But
I mean,
again,
I don't know. I'm okay with like where the conferences are right now, because I'm okay with having like 4 big conferences. I'm okay with that.
We could go on with this for hours.
Yeah,
Hours.
yeah,
No, we could.
yeah.
Literally end of day, it's going to be what it's going to be. And you will hear it from my mouth to God's ears. I'm going to hate every last second of it. Because it's going to impact the infant. And it's going to impact
See, I don't think it will, but we'll see.
We shall see.
I think the last 2 drafts have been really good for the NFL. Personally, I think
Okay,
the last
fair
2 have been awesome. I think we're gonna have Hall of Fame players coming out of the last 2 drafts. Last one, this one.
it's fair.
I mean, so I don't know.
Hey, the end of it is not in our hands. All we get to do is talk
Yeah,
here, gentlemen.
yeah.
I think the time is up until we meet again, and I believe it's going to be middle preseason. As I was saying, half goes before the other half, and I think it pans out over. Try and meet. If not, we'll try and advise sooner.
We got an
But
NFL game next week,
We do.
which is
Football is on the
crazy.
calendars, baby.
It's
On the
finally
calendar.
back, boys. It's
Oh my
finally
God.
close.
Just get me to week 1 already. I hate
Get
this
me to
part of the
week
year.
1.
I really don't care about the offseason because at the end of the day, nothing matters once week 1 starts. Nothing.
Yep.
I guess
Exact.
injuries
Damn
do,
straight, bro.
but nothing matters, man.
Damn-
You could hear
damn
all
straight.
the stuff that's happening in training camp, all the, blah blah blah, all
It's-
this player's playing great, this player looks like shit, this player, who cares? Cuz
Yeah.
week 1 the Patriots are going to beat the
Nobody
Bengals, It's like anything can happen.
Oh yeah, dude. You're gonna score just 6 points against the Vikings and get blown out in the next 2
Exactly.
games. Yeah,
Every
it's
Giants
crazy.
fan was hyped for that game, and look what happened,
Oh,
man.
is
Nothing
that-
And,
matters.
and after 2 quarters, this season was gone, bro.
Exactly. Hey, we're on the same page here. It's perfect.
Hey,
You get it.
listen, I'm excited. You guys are excited. I'll see you guys middle of the preseason for that rate. And we'll
Yeah.
talk more.
Alrighty.
All right, gents.
Hey.
Peace.